Good morning, everybody. Well, it's morning for me, and it is probably afternoon for you guys. Um, as you can hear from my voice, I'm a little sick, so I mentioned in the announcement. Um, that's the reason why some videos haven't come out, but I do want to try my best to get some content out there for you guys, so you guys can um, progress in the class. So I'm gonna try my best to get more and more videos out this week and get some quizzes and stuff for you guys to do as well. Okay. Um, before before I get into it, Monday would have been the due date for your assignment, and congratulations to the five of you that submitted. Um, Congratulations to the nine of you that at least accepted the assignment. Um, Out of 15 students. Okay. So, yeah. So, some of you may have found out that um, you weren't able to submit. Now, yes, that's true because, like I had repeatedly told you guys in videos in the lecture, for those of you who attended, that Monday was the due date. Now, maybe some of you underestimated and thought, okay, well, I can submit it Tuesday, and that's fine, right? But I've um, I've configured the assignment such that let's see, such that let's see. Okay, let me see if the due date is here. So here's the deadline. Here's the deadline. That was Monday the 24th at 11, and I have the option to block any submissions after the time. So some of you guys found out that, unfortunately, um, and that's okay. This this should be a lesson to all of you that when I give a deadline, that's the deadline. There will be no there will be no consideration given unless, like I said, and I'll repeat it again, if you have an issue. If I say I if today was assignment 2 and assignment 2 was due, let's say, next week or in 2 weeks, and um between now and the due date you worked on the assignment, and you were having some technical problems, maybe your laptop died, something, right? Something legitimate that can be proven and you can document for me, right? Um, and you've emailed me or you've messaged me, and uh, before the deadline, right? Then I'm able to make some considerations for you, and we work it out. But if you go and message me on the due date, um, or on the due date or after, then no consideration will be given, because what that tells me is that you literally just attempted the assignment the day it was due or the day after, and ran into problems then. And I'm not going to tolerate that kind of behavior. That is definitely um, you you will never succeed in computer science if you're gonna do assignments 1 to 2 to 3 days ahead. I mean, before the deadline. Um, is it's not possible, and this is only grade 12 computer science. If you go to university, I guarantee you, I can almost guarantee you that you will fail. Even the smartest people um, uh, need time to start the assignment and do it well, right? It's almost guaranteed that the way the teachers and the professors set up their assignments is that they want that you're going to not be able to get it right the first time, and that's often the truth. Is that they write the questions in such a way that they know you're gonna reach difficulties and roadblocks, and it's supposed to make you learn, right? So you need to work on the assignments early and often, and then submit on time. I am no problem with people submitting late, only if I can see, like, I can see here, I can see, I don't want to expose anybody, but I can see that, okay, this person made 5 commits. Like, I can track all of the work you guys have done, and I can say, well, look, so and so, or this person, I can see that, for the whole week they've been committing to the repository, and they're not getting the solution, or they've been doing this, and then, oh, look, it looks like they had this technical issue. I'm willing to work with that person. Now, another thing to say is that just because you submit the assignment and you don't pass all the test cases, right, doesn't mean that you get another try to get it right. That doesn't mean that either. You have a chance to submit the assignment just like anybody else, and you have the fair chance. And if you don't get it right, you don't get it right, right? Now, what what you need to do is that after what we can do is that after an assignment is due and is submitted, we can go through the solution so that you learn. But it's not going to be an opportunity for you to go back and redo it. Okay. Okay. So I just wanted to make that clear to everybody. Okay, that these are my expectations, and I will not budge on my expectations. I've taught before, and so I know I've given every excuse in the book possible. I've heard my friends give every excuse in the book, and I've heard students give every excuse. I'm only 34 years old, so I haven't been out of school for that long. So I'm not stupid, okay? So I'm making my expectations clear and concise. Message me ahead of time, and I will be more than happy to work with you. Message me on the day of the due date or the day after. I will not give you consideration, period. So you can try me, or you can take my word seriously, but you will find out either way. And I don't want to sound mean or anything, but I do this so that you respect my time, I respect your time. Okay? And I'm trying to do these videos for you because I'm trying to respect your time. I don't want you guys to be waiting around, um, you know, and finding out what's gonna happen next. Okay, so even though I'm not feeling well, I'm trying to do my best to give you guys something to work on and to study. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna try and get through this fast since it's been some time. Okay, so just recapping, we've talked about variables, data types. So assigning a value to a variable, and then we've printed out the information um, to the console or to the terminal, or for you guys the command prompt or command line, I think is what they call it for Microsoft, right? So today we're going to be talking about decisions, right? And so you can think about um, we're trying to go deeper and deeper into um, better usability of our programs, like for instance, when you open your app, like whatever app you're using, maybe you use Spotify, right, for music, and you type in the name of an artist, one of your favorite artists, maybe, um, I don't know who's popular wherever you are. Let's say in Canada, um, Drake is a popular rapper, right? So say you type in Drake. Let's see. You type in Drake. I don't really use Spotify, but let's see. You type in Drake, right, and then you get all these songs. But what's happening behind the scenes, right? When I type Drake, how does what happens such that the program knows to give me Drake songs? It's is it not making a decision based on the input I'm giving, right? So we can think about it like this. The program might be structured in this way. If the user types into the search bar the name Drake, then let's let's go into our list of artists and look for the name Drake. If the name Drake exists, then let's display all the results of the search for Drake onto to the user. So that's what's happened, right? So if I put in Adele or something, right? So if the user types anything, right, we want to check does this does this string match to anything that is on is in our files, right? Is on our system that's in Spotify. If it matches, give me everything that matches it, right? So I get everything that matches. You see, look, we have different Adeles. We have this Adele. We have different stuff, right? Not just Adele, the artist. Okay, so that's decision making. That's decisions, right? So we're good. That's what we're going to be talking about. So today's agenda: decisions with one, two, or multiple outcomes using if statements. Okay, we're going to talk about Boolean operators. Boolean operators are what makes decisions work. It's the logical apparatus by which um, computers can make decisions. Making more challenging conditions using and or and not. Okay, so we'll get into that, and then nested ifs. Okay, so all this stuff should be foreign to you, or for some of you, it might be a review, or maybe you guys you know this already, but hopefully everybody here will learn something new or deeper. Okay, so comparison operators. So so making the decisions requires a condition that usually compares two quantities or values. So if we think about our last example, the Spotify example, right? Um, we think about this statement here. Making a decision requires a condition that usually compares two quantities or values. So our condition would have been um, if if the string that I input, let's go back. If the string that I input in here matches a string that already exists in the application, right? So that's the comparison between two values. We're saying, are these two values equal? Sometimes we want to say, are two values equal? Is one value greater than the other one? Is one value less than, right? So here's a list right here, a typical list, right? So this is like just like math, right? We have the less than symbol. We have less than or equal to, right? We have greater than. We have greater than or equal to. We have equal to, and we have not equal to. So this is the syntax. This is how we actually write this in the program. Now, something that maybe I hope I mentioned, but maybe I didn't mention. Equals equals, right? Now, um, let me close this. Okay. I just want to demonstrate something important here. So I'm in the interpreter now. So when I say I'm making a variable and I'm just calling it var. When I do this, var equals 2, right? And then I'll print var. This statement here is not equals. It's not equals in the same way that we understand it. All it's saying is called assignment. So what this really means is that var assign the value to the variable var. And that's different from this here equals equals. This so if I said so now if I said var equals so sorry. Um print uh var equals 2. Let's see if that works. It says true, right? Because it's saying because remember we assigned the variable we assigned var the value of 2, and now we're printing out the result is the variable is var. Sorry, let me just be clear so I don't want to trip over my words and confuse you guys. Is the value that is inside var, is it equal to 2? That's what this equals means. It's different from this one. This one is saying assign the value 2 to var. This one is saying does the value inside var equal to, and near it says true. And true, we're gonna go we're gonna as we go through this lesson, we're gonna know that true is a boolean value, and a boolean is a data type that we haven't come across yet. So if I do print var oops equal 3, what should I get? Pause and see what you think you should get. Okay, you get false, right? Because var equals 2. Let's print var. Is var greater than 1? True. Is var less than 5? True. Is var greater than 8? False. Okay? So that should demonstrate Boolean. Sorry, that's just a quick. Okay, let's do less than or equal to, so you can understand that one too. Okay, it's always good to just show some examples. Okay, so let's see. Let's print var less than or equal to 3. It's true. Now let's say var greater than or equal to 2. That's true. Okay? Okay. I know we're moving a little slow because I had to have that talk in the beginning of the video, but let's keep it moving, okay? So yeah, 6 greater than 9.6, that's false, right? Okay. If statement, one outcome. So decisions in programming are made when conditions are tested, and then depending on the result, further statements are executed or not. We use this decision structure when there is only one outcome to a certain condition. So here's just like a basic syntax, right? So you have if. This is how you'd write it in the program. First you have if, then you have in brackets here the condition. Now the condition could be what we pretty much wrote in the terminal just now. You could have this is a condition right here. Is 6 greater than 9.6? So that would be here. And then colon. This is important. And then indented. So the space right here is also important. Indented, and then you have your statements. Whatever you're going to be executing based on this condition. So statements executed for condition being true. Example. Here's an example here. If you have to have the if there, then you have the condition in the brackets, right? If age is greater than or equal to 18, print you can't vote. So I think in Canada, yeah, I think you have to be at least 18 to vote. So here it's telling us that this is the condition for this decision. Conditions evaluate to either true or false, like we've seen, right? So if else statements with two outcomes. So we use this decision structure when there are two outcomes to a certain condition. So we can have if and then condition, and then we say else with the statement here. Now, because it's only two outcomes, you'll see that you'll be asking yourself, well, how come there's no condition with the else statement, right? Well, if we think logically, right? If I'm saying if my condition is this, right? So if your age is greater than or equal to 18, you can vote. So this is saying that if this is true, we go in here and we execute this. Else, if this is not true, so else if it's false, do that. Okay. So there's no need for me to also write here if age is less than 18. I don't need to write there. It's already obvious and implied to the program that it can either be true or false. So it can only be one or two, right? Now we have if and elif or else if statement, multiple outcomes. So we use this decision structure when there are multiple outcomes. So we have the if condition, we have else if condition. So in Python, some languages you write else if, in Python you write elif. Okay? Else if condition, and then you write else if condition, and then the last condition, the last yeah, the last condition will be else. So let's try to speak about this in a more English speaking way. So I say if if this happens, do this. Else if this condition is true, do this. Else if this condition is true, do this. Else if none of them are true, do this. That's what that means. Okay. Now, it it won't be obvious to you how this exactly works, right? I mean, I would say this, you may be understanding what we're going through right now, but I guarantee you, until you write this into the code and into your code editor, and you try out a program and you run it and you see the outcomes and everything like that, you will not fully understand this. Okay, so a good practice is with every new if when every new skill you learn, every new skill or technique or programming principle that we learn here, try and try and try. This is probably the best advice I could give you. You try immediately to put this into a tiny program, and you know um, try to run it and see what happens. Okay, see for yourself. And then if you have any questions about it, about the program you wrote, oh sir, I'm getting this error. Send me a screenshot, and I would love to help you guys with this. I would love to see you guys attempt to write your own small programs, um, to test out these different programming constructs that we go through. Okay, and that way, when it comes to the assignment, it will be that much easier. I guarantee you, it will be that much easier for you to complete the assignments. Okay, so this is an if else if example. Provincial capitals. Okay, so if you remember here, this is a variable called province. This is a function called input, and remember, input takes a prompt, and the prompt is what shows up when we run the program. So it's going to tell us enter a province. And once we enter a province and press enter, the value now exists inside this variable. So imagine that, okay, in Canada we have a province called Ontario. We have a province called Nova Scotia. We have a province called British Columbia. We have a province called Quebec. Okay. I'm sure you guys have provinces where you are, or maybe a state. It's the same kind of concept, or a region. Okay. So imagine you've typed in your province here. Let's assume that we typed in Ontario. So now when the program runs, it's going to say if province equals the string. So sorry, equals the string Ontario. Print capital is Toronto. So because we input Ontario in here, we get the capital is Toronto. Okay. So actually, let's just you know what? It's always just better to just write the program itself. So let's see. Um, okay. Okay. There we go. Um, hmm. And if you guys want, I'll try and make this code available for you guys to also look at. So let's call this if else dot py. Okay. So we had here province equals input. Okay. So the editor completed that for me, so that's nice. So now I say if, and then I have the condition. I wonder, does it take brackets? If I remember. Okay, yeah. So if province equals Ontario. See, it's here saying expected colon, so colon has to go here. And then automatically it takes me to this next line when I press enter, and it's indented because um I can't be over here. I have to be indented because that's how the program knows that, like, anything that comes after this line and is indented is is referring to is dealing with this block, or this block here. This here says expected indented block. Okay, so I'm just gonna write pass for now. And when I press enter, see how it goes back. So LF province. I'll do Alberta. LF I'll put BC. I don't even know the capital. I think it's Vancouver. Okay. And then I'll just put else. Okay. So I just want to put pass there just for now. So I'll put in the print statement. Else print. Okay, I can print that. Print. Yeah, I'll print that. Okay. And then else I'll print. Yeah, you live somewhere else. Okay. So let's run that. First, I want to clear this. And then let's run it. Okay, so here, remember the prompt here from here. What province do you live in? I'll put Ontario. You live in Ontario. See? Oh, I made a typo here. Okay, so let's run it again. What province do you live in? Alberta. Oh, oh, I didn't save it. Okay, so it didn't get the changes. Now I saved it. You live in Alberta. So you see, this is pretty much okay, let's put somewhere else. Um I just put Uganda. You live somewhere else, right? So based on the input, right? I'm able to decide what I want to do. That's decision making in a nutshell. And this is an example of making multiple decisions. Okay? Okay. So we have that example there. Here's a decision tree, and this is how you can visualize it. So I would recommend you guys to maybe look at this diagram and try to focus on it and try to understand. So let's I'll try to run through this quickly and um concisely. Okay. So province. So we have is is province equal to Ontario? If it's true, so if it's true, go down here, type Toronto, print out Toronto. If it's false, we check. So the diamond is a condition. All the diamonds are conditions. So it says, okay, so is province Ontario? False. Go here. Is province Nova Scotia? False. Is province British Columbia? False. Then I don't, then print out, don't know, end program. Otherwise, you choose one of these ones. Okay? So, example, order matters. So, a student wrote a program that outputs different comments depending on the user's age. Can you see the output, how the output would be different if the conditions were in a different order? So yeah, so the order in which you put the conditions in matters. So here we're capturing input about your age. And remember, because we want to store it as a number, and by default, input stores, it gives us a string, right? We need to change it into an integer type. And so that's what we do here. Okay. So now we say, okay, if age is less than 3, you're a baby. If age is less than 13, you're a kid. If age is less than 18, you're a teen. Um, if else you're an adult. Okay, so if we change the order around, would would this program execute differently based on what we input? I'll leave that as a question for you guys to answer yourselves. Okay. Okay. I think I'll stop here because I think this video is getting long, and then I'll just record another one. Okay. That we will continue with Boolean operators.